Melanie. Today I'm going to show you how to do a really easy butterfly art project. And as we go, I will also teach you a little bit about butterflies. So we're going to make this coffee filter butterfly, and you can also use a paper towel. I tried to pick some materials that you should have at your house. We don't want anyone going out to get art supplies, so just do your best and try to find something in your house that will make it work. And I gave you a couple different options. So first, I'm going to tell you everything you need for this project. Coffee filters that you use in a coffee pot. They have to be kind of the round ones. I don't think that the cones ones would work. But if you don't have coffee filters, another option you could do is, I'm going to show you how to do it with a paper towel, just a regular paper towel, or tissue paper that you use for wrapping presents. So hopefully you have one of these things. I'm sure most people have paper towels, even though they are a little bit hard to find right now. But I'm gonna start with doing coffee filters, and then I will show you how to do it with the paper towel and tissue paper. And the other thing you definitely need are markers. Nothing else will really work except for markers, except if you had watercolor paints, you could use that too. And then the next thing I'm going to use is a paintbrush. If you don't have a paintbrush, it's no big deal. I'll also show you how to just do it with some water in your fingers, and maybe even you could do it in the sink if you're really careful. Okay, and then the last thing that you need is, I'm going to use this as kind of like a working station so I don't get marker or water on my table. But you could also use like newspaper, or maybe a plastic, like a placemat or a plastic tablecloth, something like that. Okay, the last thing you need is something to tie it together. So normally when I do this project in the classroom, I use pipe cleaners because then you can make some little antenna, but I couldn't find any pipe cleaner at my house, which is not a big deal. I'm going to use ribbon today. You could use like yarn or string or anything that you find at your house. I'm sure you could find something to just tie it together, and you could even probably use like a paper clip or something else like that. Okay, so let's get started on our art project. And while we're going, I will also tell you some things about butterflies that will make your butterfly project even better. So first, I'm going to take my coffee filter, which is right here, and take some markers and just make a design for my butterfly. And what I'm going to do to start, and you don't have to, but it would be cool if you just kind of make a line down the middle so that you know which side is which, because when we put the butterfly together, then you'll have the two sides. And a really cool thing about butterflies is that they are symmetrical, and that means that they are the same on both sides. So see, when you look at this picture of a really pretty butterfly, you can see that on both sides it is the same design and the same colors in the same spot. So you can try to make your drawing with the two wings on the same side if you want, but you don't have to. But real butterflies are the same on both sides. So that's why we're going to try to do it that way. So I'm just going to start off by making some lines. And you can color it any way you like. It doesn't have to look like mine. You can use whichever colors you like to use and just really make it beautiful the way that you like it to be, okay? And you don't have to worry about making a really perfect design or picture, because what we're going to do after we're done is use some water and wet our marker, and the colors are gonna kind of mush together and look like a really cool tie-dye. So you won't see, like if you draw a picture of something, it might get a little bit messed up. So it's the best thing to do would be just to like do some designs. So I did one thing on one half. Now I'm gonna try, and it doesn't have to be perfect, to do the same exact thing on the other side, because that's what regular real butterflies are like. They have the same exact pattern on one side and then the same thing on the other side. And the reason for that is so that they can fold themselves together and look smaller, and that will help them blend in with their surroundings. And another cool fact about butterflies that I learned is that their wings are actually transparent, so that means you can see through them, and that would help them also become more camouflage with their backgrounds where they are if they're trying to hide. Oh, my marker's running out a little bit. That's okay. And then I'm going to take some other colors and just do some lines like this. I'm not going to worry about making it really like perfect. And I can't wait to see what kind of designs you guys come up with. And I think the more colors you do, the more really beautiful it will blend together. Oops, this yellow is not working too good. Oh, that's a much better one. I'm going to try to do this one. It's like an orange kind of yellow. Okay, so I'm all done with this one. This is my butterfly design, and you know, if your parents say it's okay and you have some other extra coffee filters, you can feel free to do some other ones. And then I'm also going to do a design on a paper towel. This is just a regular paper towel that I cut. I think it's going to be too big if it's like this long one, so I'm going to actually just kind of like rip it a little bit so it will be a little smaller and more like a smaller rectangle. Okay, and then you can do a different design on this one. And the same thing, I'm going to put a little line down the middle so I know where the middle is. And this one I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to do some circles. This would be a really cool time to practice doing your shapes. So I'm going to make circles. Oh, and I'm going to try to make it the same on both sides, which is a little tricky, but it's a cool challenge to try to draw something on one side and then draw it on the other side. And you know what would be fun too? If you're doing this with your brother or sister or your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or anybody at home, you could do a fun challenge where someone does one side and then the other person has to copy the other side. I think that would be really fun. I'm by myself, so I can't do that, but that's okay. Now I'm going to make some squares so I can really practice my drawing. Oh, that ended up being like a diamond. Let me do a square. And so I could practice my shapes and make something that looks really nice. I didn't use blue yet. Now I'm just going to kind of go over the whole thing with blue. See how that turns out. I think it might be cool. Okay, and here's my other one. And the last thing, I think if you wanted to use tissue paper, that would work too. I'm not going to do that one, but I'm pretty sure that would definitely work too if that's all you have leftover tissue paper from an extra present or something like that. Okay, so for this next part, I got a tray, like a baking pan, because I felt like that would be the best thing to not make a mess. Obviously, you could just use a tablecloth or something like that, but this I think will be a really handy way to keep all the water in the tray, and if you spill or something, then it won't be a big deal. And then I just got a little bowl full of water, and I'm gonna try to start using a paintbrush, but I think you can also just like dip your fingers and use it. So I will try it both ways so we can see what works. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my paintbrush, put some water on it. I was hoping that I would have a bigger paintbrush, but this should work too. And see how when you're putting water on it, it's just getting a little bit fuzzier and kind of mixing the colors together and making a cool sort of tie-dye thing. So we're just going to put water on the whole thing. And see, it definitely works too. If you don't have a paintbrush, that is not a big deal at all. And me dipping my fingers in and using that is working just as well, so it's no problem. And see, we got it all done, and we're gonna let it dry. And now I'm gonna do this one. And just like I thought, the paper towel is working just as well. So no worries about that. Okay, and we're just gonna let it dry. So all you have to do is fold it accordion style, which means you just make a little fold, then you flip it over, and then you fold it again, flip it, fold it. We got a little butterfly, and you know what? I actually love the way it looks with a paper towel. That might be my new favorite way. So I hope you love doing this project and watching me do it for you, and I hope this can give you something fun to do with your family. So have a great day. See you soon.